Hydroxychloroquine. It's been the word of the week after thousands of you now reacting to the news that President Trump is now taking this drug, despite the fact that it's not been approved as a safe option right now to fight coronavirus. Let's take a closer look at the story in this morning's Digital Dive. Now, on May 8th, Vice President Mike Pence's press secretary, Kate Miller, tested positive for COVID-19. The next day, a White House doctor reached out to experts across the country, including U of M professor of medicine, Dr. David Boulware. Dr. Boulware is overseeing a clinical trial right now to determine whether hydroxychloroquine is effective in preventing the coronavirus. President Trump is apparently taking the drug as a preventative measure.
The question comes up, is there any evidence for this, does this work? And so this is something that's really unknown, that there's reasons why it might work, but there's reasons why it might not work as well. There's been a lot of information in the press, and is it dangerous, does it work, all these things, and the hype is probably overblown on both sides.
A lot of good questions. There currently have about 1,500 frontline medical workers and first responders nationwide taking part in this trial. The U expects to have a good grasp on data in about a month from now. And we've received hundreds and hundreds of comments on this topic over the past few days. A lot of them politicizing this drug since President Trump has been so publicly saying that he's been taking it daily. And I think, Gia, one thing we all can agree on is that we hope this drug works. We hope what we'll hear from the U of M doctors, that this drug is effective against the coronavirus, because I think we all need a dose of good news and some positive news in this fight.
Yeah, that is for sure true. But there's so much that we still don't yet know about this drug. Alicia, thank you.